that.
Good idea.
Well, it is time to get your medical questions answered.
The number to call, 270-9933. Zorba Paster is standing by. Let's go to Faith in Madison. Hi, Faith. What's your question? Faith, you there?
I have a question because they are always talking about the viruses, but they're not talking about the symptoms, and I want to know what the symptoms of the new virus are.
I think we lost Zorba.
Did you see him lean forward and push a button? Zorba, can you hear us?
It's coming back. Hang on a second.
Okay. Faith, are you still there?
No, she's gone.
Okay.
Okay, Zorba, what are the symptoms of this?
But I can answer the question. First of all, I want to mention the clock in back of me needs a battery. So I
was going to point that out to you, but not on the air.
The symptoms. But no, it needs a battery. It's right twice a day, you know, the usual joke. The symptoms are basically very similar to the symptoms you get for influenza. Maybe a cough, maybe the sniffles, maybe a slight fever, but the fever actually may be worse. It's very hard to tell what the symptoms are, very hard to differentiate that from influenza. So often, when you're actually going in to be checked, they'll do an influenza swab, and they may then do a COVID swab if the influenza swab is negative. Symptoms are very similar, and that's the whole problem. For some people, it's not very much at all, and that's why many people may be carriers, because they don't have much in the way of symptoms. It's a real issue, a real problem. You cannot depend on the symptoms to know whether or not you actually have the coronavirus.
All right, our next caller is Patty from Madison. Hi, Patty, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, I can.
What's your question?
I have a question regarding fresh fruits and vegetables, and I thought about this a while ago. My son helped me pick out Everclear because I don't drink, and I wondered if spraying that on fresh fruits and vegetables and then rinsing it off so that I could eat some strawberries is a good idea.
I certainly think rinsing Everclear on your fruits and vegetables, or making a bleach solution. You can look up what a simple bleach solution is in water to actually make your vegetables clean is something you could easily do, especially with fruit that is touched all the time in the store. I don't know how long it lasts on fruit. I know that the surfaces that the virus tends to stay on are plastic, metal. Those are really the surfaces, and wood. I don't know about the vegetables, but you bring up a very good point. You can also wash them in the sink, just wash them vigorously in the sink. That'll probably work, but then you've got to wash your hands with soap and water when you're done.
Okay, let's go to Rhonda in Edgerton. Hi, Rhonda, what's your question?
My question is, I heard that high heat can kill this virus. If you spray your face with water and use a blow dryer and breathe in, and take the blow dryer away when you're not breathing. Do it 2 times if you don't have the virus, 5 times if you do. Will that kill this virus?
I don't think so. I don't think the CDC recommends it. And that brings up a very good point. You want to go to reliable sources to get your information. The CDC website, excellent. Mayo Clinic website, excellent. Johns Hopkins website, also excellent. And then the newspapers I look at are the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. I think those are very good sources. I don't think there's any evidence that spraying your face is actually going to destroy the virus on your face. But we do know soap and water, because the virus is lipophilic. That means it has to do with fat, and you can destroy it when you destroy fat. And we use soap on our face, we use soap on our dishes to get rid of the fat and the oil. That's what you want to do. Wash your face vigorously with soap and water. We know that works. Stay away from the hairdryer.
Next is Matt from Beloit. Hi, Matt. What is your question?
What's up, Doc? I was just kind of curious. First of all, we were stressing the situation about the flu shot, and I don't know if there's any new data out there to saying, well, these ones have been victimized by this epidemic, and they've had the flu shot, or these ones that didn't have the flu shot, or we should still be stressing that everybody needs to get a flu shot, because, you know, it's zero copay for 99% of insurance companies, so I don't know why anybody would be dragging their feet if that's just a little help compared to your hand sanitizer. So what's your verdict on that there, brother?
Excellent point. Let's not forget that influenza so far has killed, by estimate, about 25,000 people in the U.S. 2 years ago, it killed 70,000 people. And we know there are a lot of people who don't get the flu shot because they think there are side effects, and frankly, the side effects are absolutely minimal. So yes, Getting the flu shot still counts because there's still lots of influenza out there, although I would suspect the transmission of influenza is less because we're self-quarantining. But you bring up a good point. Influenza is still an issue. Even though it's dying down, it's still important to get your flu shot.
All right, Sherry in Dodgeville. Hi, Sherry. What's your question?
Well, I was wondering, would it have been possible? My husband was very sick the first week in November, and the symptoms are just exactly what you're saying that you get with this coronavirus. So he was running a high fever. Again, he went to the doctor twice. They just said he had a virus, but we're pretty sure he probably had it already back the first week in November.
No, probably not. To the best of our knowledge, it was not in this area in November. But I'll tell you what was in this area in November, and that was influenza. And influenza can produce exactly the same symptoms that are there, down and out. You're really sick, chills and fever. And even if you had the flu shot, it was only 30% effective this year. So the answer is doubtful if he had COVID, most likely had influenza, and that, of course, is a virus.
All right, and our last question is from ALANA in Friesland. Hi, ALANA. What's your question?
Yes, we were wondering, where are the testing sites that you can go to, like in Columbia County?
I can't tell you that. Sorry. I don't know. What I would do is Google it on the web, call your doctor, see where the sites are. Most people are not being tested. They're being sort of triaged as who should be tested, because the reality is at this point we actually don't have any way of telling whether or not we have a good way of treating COVID-19, although there are a number of drugs that are being used. So if you question that, call your doctor, stay at home.
All right, I can see by the old clock on the wall we're out of time. Zorba, we'll see you next time. Everybody, wash your hands, stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks, Zorba. Thanks for calling in, everybody, too. We'll be right back with the final check of your forecast.